What's going on, people? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Before I go anywhere with this video, I want to say that I am completely out of my mind and I have no idea what I'm talking about, and you should seek professional advice where you see fit. All right, with that being said, tax time in trucking. I said this in another video about, I think it was the rules of engagement for your trucking business. And just reiterate, you want to separate yourself from your company. And what do I mean by that? You don't have to, but you want to put your company in the name of a corporation and file the necessary paperwork and everything like that. On paper, it separates you from your company. Now, this probably be a quick video, but you're going to have to stop and research and do, if you want to, what I'm talking about. So once you separate yourself from your company and you choose the entity that you put your business in, whether it's an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, or maybe you have an LLC with an S Corp, or so on and so forth. But that's up to you to do your own research. The whole idea of that is to not run your business off of your social security number, i.e. sole proprietor. And with each business entity, there are pros and cons of what you can do, what you can't do, as far as write-offs and benefits and fringe benefits and things like that. So that's going to be up to you to choose and do your own research. Now, with that being said, we'll use Tony as an example. Let's say Tony makes 6 figures, right? Does Tony pay, even though Tony can pay himself a big salary, does Tony pay himself a big salary? No, because if Tony pays himself $35,000, maybe $40,000 a year, Tony qualifies for state benefits. Even though Tony does not need state benefits, he qualifies for them. And because they are available, maybe Tony goes ahead and enrolls in these state benefits because they're available to him because he only makes $40,000. What type of state benefits would Tony qualify for if he only makes $40,000? Well, he can probably get subsidized Obamacare. Even though Tony doesn't really need it, he can probably get that. He can probably get he can probably get food stamps. Now, Tony probably doesn't really need it, but because it is available to him, hey, why not? And so on and so forth. I don't know, Tony's whole situation and what he has and what he doesn't have, but that's an idea of why you want to separate yourself from your company, because your company can make all this money, but you as an employee of your company, you may not want to make all that money, because the more you make, the more you get taxed, and the more stuff that like insurance and stuff that you're going to pay a premium for. So that's one aspect of it. Now, how does Tony keep his paperwork straight? I asked him one day, I said, Tony, how do you keep your paperwork straight, with your company and everything like that? Tony has a payroll service that keeps track of all his payroll and federal tax and stuff like that. So every quarter, Tony pays his amount on the profit that he made, and so on and so forth. So Tony pays for a payroll service with that. And at the end of the year, every quarter, they give Tony a sheet saying what he made and what he paid and all that. And at the end of the year, that will all total up, and that will come off of Tony's gross at the end of the year. So if he made six figures, whatever he made, and minus the 35, 40,000, 45, whatever, that comes off that, and that's taxed on a personal level. But since Tony was smart, he qualifies for all these benefits, and he gets earned income credit, and maybe he has children, so there's what, $3,000 per child and everything like that. So essentially, Tony has studied the rules of commerce, if you would, and he is using the benefits available to him, even though he may not need them. So Tony also mentioned that basically it's the same thing that Donald Trump does, just on a smaller level. Now, I don't think, any billionaires and millionaires or anything like this are watching this channel. If they are, cool. If not, cool. I mean, either way. But Tony wanted me to tell you guys that is how he does it. So let's recap. So let's say Tony makes six figures. He has a payroll company that pays him a certain amount per year. And out of that certain amount, he says he qualifies for certain benefits from the state, and whether he needs them or not. And he don't need them because, he makes decent money running, his truck. But, you get what I'm saying? So now I asked Tony, I said, well, what about when it comes to, let's say you want to qualify for some kind of financing or whatever, and you're only making a certain amount? Well, he said, that's, there are ways around that. And he said, since you're a business owner, you can pay yourself anything you want. As long as, as long as you make that, you can pay yourself anything you want on paper. But he didn't really go into detail on that. But I hope this answers your question. It probably didn't answer it directly. You're going to have to go back and do your own research. And make sure you tell Tony, thank you.